Hey, Jesse.
Hello, Lindsay.
What are you drinking today?
Tang a motherfucking Ray.
Tangeray.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Tangeray commercials with the Tangeray guy? He had like a cool little hat on and shit, and he was very Australian.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
I don't fucking remember it.
And Tangeray is also one of my favorite characters from a show of all time, Karen Walker. That bitch loved her some Tangeray.
It's good. What are you drinking?
I am having a raspberry Vista Bay because you picked that out of the freezer for me.
Vista Bay.
So we have an outside fridge that it Frigidaires, but the freezer part is just a colder version of the refrigerator because it's old.
It's old. Hot in Florida.
Yeah.
Everything to freeze outside.
Yeah, I have frozen another case of water bottles to just keep rotating out there to keep all that cold because now we're in the heat and it's in the elements. Even though it's under the shady part of our back porch, it's still, we got to keep ice in it.
It's our old beer locker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
We love it though. We want to keep it. We want to keep it rolling because we need that second fridge.
You know what, Lindsay? What made me feel old? Because you like to dump this on me.
Oh my God, you're going there already?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to jump ahead of you on this old thing. This has been something that you've been fixated on me, so now I'm like fixated on it, I guess.
Okay, get it off your chest.
Rockville took me a whole week to get over.
Today is the first day that I have felt normal. So yeah, we're in the same boat.
Yeah, we need a cruise.
Right. Well, okay, so
that's what we need. You need a cruise after Rockville to recover.
Our last episode was Rockville recap and then a memorial to Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell. So, and it was on Sunday. So we rocked the fuck out on Sunday. We had a blast. We ended the night with Korn, which is always like when I see Jonathan Davis appear. Like
didn't
my
they come
heart,
out the gate hard, didn't they?
Yeah. They came out with Blind. Oh my God.
And then Twist. So it was like and Blind Twist. They came out so hard.
And then Falling Away. And then Got the Life.
Yeah.
And then Shoots and Ladders.
They did.
Yeah. It was like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
And then we were done.
Yeah, well, we
had to
were,
go
but
back
they
and get
kept
showers.
cracking.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's not that we're not disrespecting the bands.
No, that was our third corning.
3 times. I've seen them 4. So
yeah.
But it's not.
Well, we would have seen them 5, but Rockville 2022 was our want Rockville. Like we always make it a good time, but there was so much rain and lightning. That's what we'll stand out in a fucking crowd in rain, but when it's lightning, they make you leave.
Yeah, we give up. Yeah, we're done. And I need to see No Place to Hide by Korn.
I know you do.
That was a thing for me, but it's not a thing for them.
And I was sad that I didn't get y'all want a single say fuck that because I literally woke up Sunday morning singing that in my sleep.
They probably played it while we were taking a shower.
They probably did. Yeah,
we left early and was like, I'm gonna wash
they closed the showers by 1 a.m. and you already have to stand in line to get one. So we do sometimes have to cut out the headliners a little bit.
Yeah. I did a review on all that. I mean, I think we need a couple more showers in Orange Lot.
We need to have the showers open till 2. Because if you want to be able to get a shower after you've finished an entire headliner set, you need the showers open till 2. It's just how it is.
But other than that, I think Rockville did a great job. It was hot as fuck the first day, and then they really accommodated the second day. So
yeah, they cut the water price from $4.50 a bottle to $2 because it should never be $4.50 a bottle. No. I'm sorry, it shouldn't. We are always prepared for that. We save and we have our money in order when we go. But for newcomers, people that are not veterans, they don't know.
So listen, hit us up if you want tips for festivals.
Hit us up. We'll give you it all. We'll give you an itinerary. Hundreds of dollars.
It was great. Just for GA type stuff. But I mean, we're not doing it on the cheap. We don't care how much we spend. But we take
$1,200.
We know.
Yeah, we take $1,200. And this year we saved $300 by limited our water cost and sharing food.
Yeah.
And the tips.
Yeah, if you're going to drink at Rockville, why pay 15% when they're reaching in a cooler?
Hit that. Now, listen, I'm a server by trade, and I am a very, very generous tipper. But if somebody's just screwing a top off for me, I don't want to tip more than $1 per drink.
Yeah, $2 is adequate.
So
$1 is adequate.
Yeah, so that's what we did. We did $1 per drink, and then we did a little bit more for food.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's all good.
We did $1 per drink.
We had a great time.
And did a little more
like
for
I said,
food.
DWP really did help. They closed up some of the big tents, put air conditioning in there. You know, it was a great time. It was very,
and then
very doable for how hot it was.
Or the Sirius XM tent was like our jam because we could go in there and meet rock stars and hang out with Jose Megan and get air conditioning all at the same time.
And Shenanigans.
And Katie Babs. Yes. We love you guys so much.
Yeah, they're the voice of our realm because, you know, we like satellite radio. So
absolutely.
So
we're going to roll that intro.
Is that what we're going to do?
And get this shit started.
We're going to get fired up?
Yeah.
I was still in Rockville land.
Yes.
Happy Friday. I'm going to bump it a little bit. I'm going to bump this. Y'all ready? Y'all want to hear it say, fuck that.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Want to hear it say, fuck that.
Fuck that. Fuck that. My favorite band at Rockville.
Who?
Snot.
Oh, I know. If you guys follow me on TikTok, @drinkaboutSomething_Lindsay, and I have day 1 and day 2 on there. I did not get enough videos to do day 2 and day 3, but we're going to work on that. But on day 2, or I'm sorry.
You didn't get 3 and 4. I just put something together. I put it up there too.
But yes, on day 4, I have a video of Jesse just dancing right. I mean, it's just glorious. He's happy. He's in this little element. And then Amanda, the bestie, who was our guest.
They sounded so.
They did. It was a great.
Did you look
jump
up on the stage and see all the other rock stars watching them?
Yes.
Like
I did.
So many people came and watched them. It was just the hype of the whole thing.
It was an amazing way to kick off our last day, Sunday, Rockville. It was a beautiful day.
It was glorious. I was hype. So what are we drinking about?
So hold on. We're going to get there. So first off, I want to say that we do get the blues every year that we leave Rockville.
Yeah.
So we came home and we unpacked and we unloaded. And so I was like, you know what? After Jesse took a nap from the driving, I was like, I want to watch some comedies to get these blues out of me. And then we did. We watched some funny ass shit. What did we watch? We watched Old School and Tropic Thunder. And then it was Jesse's turn to pick. And he decided to find a Robin Williams movie that literally...
It puddled us.
Puddled the fuck out of us. Then I was like, all right, I need to catch up with The Last of Us. That shit puddled me. Then the very next day, we got the episode of the decade.
The Handmaids. On
Handmaid's Tale. We're rocking our Handmaid shit today. Oh my God. And today, after I busted ass scrubbing and cleaning this house, I got on TikTok and started doom scrolling, and every fucking post that was in my FYP was people's reactions to that episode. I'm going to cry right now. Oh my God.
It was so fucking badass.
Yes, it was.
It was amazing. Can I change the subject real quick? I don't want to do any
spoilers, but...
Don't spoil it.
Fuck. Okay.
What do you think about All American Rejects fucking playing shows in people's yards and shit right now?
I have no idea about that.
You haven't seen that? No. They're just popping up.
I literally just told you what my FYP was. There's nothing else but Handmaid's Tale in my FYP. And Rockville. And people posting about Rockville.
So that's my new thing. All American Rejects are traveling around the United States right now, mainly California right now. And they're just like, hey, we're playing a show in fucking bumfuck whatever town at somebody's backyard. And they show up. A couple thousand people show up. They RSVP. They're doing bowling alleys, people's backyards, like dormitories. They're doing like crazy shit right now. And you know why? Because fuck Ticketmaster.
Yeah, fuck Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
And Ticketmaster, I need you to help me understand. When I try to purchase a ticket on a pre-sale, why you don't like me? Why you don't want my money? Because I have to get Jesse's drummer every time. If we're going to a show at the same time, I have to get him to buy my tickets. And I just send him the money. Because you don't want me to get on that pre-sale. Even though I've put in the code, I got the money. I got the money, bitch.
I don't want to give them my money. I hate it. The markups, how much they mark that shit up, and then and
then the processing fee is like $40 goddamn. Like, help me understand that. So fuck you, Ticketmaster.
Thank you to all the rock bands that are fighting against that.
Yes,
you know, because don't do it. The technology's here. We can just buy from you. Go buy it from our website. The tickets are here. We rented out this whole fucking stadium,
and that's what we try to do. But sometimes it'll redirect me to Ticketmaster.
Yeah, I feel like Front Gate isn't as bad.
No, because Front Gate is Front Gate. Yeah. But so I've already been trying to look at other shows to go to, but they don't coincide with our schedule. But anyways, if you are new here, what we do is we have a drink and we talk about true crime. And at the end of the episode, we plug a band that we are digging that Jesse has reached out to and got permission to play. And we think you should listen to them because all headlining bands, all touring bands, everything, guess where they started? They started locally.
And that's why I love All American Rejects they're playing on the grass.
That's amazing.
There's no stage. Literally on the grass, somebody's backyard, where they started. I've been there. Every band's been there. I love it. And that's where you need to go back to. I think AC/DC needs to do it. Metallica needs to do it. Just play small shit.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Just do it.
It's like,
you got enough money. You're good.
We hit up James Hetfield and we're like, can you play in our backyard? And they were like, yeah.
Yeah. On our porch. Just hang out. We'll throw you a beer. You can smoke your cigar outside. It's okay.
Oh. But yeah. So what we are drinking about today is a young lady named Jennifer Pan.
Jennifer Pan.
We're going to Canada.
In Canada.
We're going to Canada.
That's awesome.
We're going back to Canada. And there's going to be some familiar names that you'll hear in just like literally 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Jennifer Pan, she was born on June 17th, 1986. To Han Pan and Bik Ha Pan, or Pan. So I'm gonna rewind. It's Han Pan and Bik Ha Pan, who were Chinese refugees from Vietnam, who then came to Canada as refugees.
A lot of Canada.
Yes. So Han and Bik were, I'm sorry, this was awful, but my tablet that I typed this shit out on, it kept autocorrecting Bic to bitch, but it's Bic, B-I-C-H. That is how you say her name.
No
Bic.
T involved.
No T involved.
Okay.
So, Han and Bic were married and lived in Scarborough, Toronto. You don't recognize Scarborough?
Yeah, from Handmaids.
No?
No? From what?
Paul Bernardo was the Scarborough rapist.
But Handmaids, they were in Toronto as well.
Yes. Yeah. So. Well, Toronto is fucking huge. I'm coming to realize
that is the so biggest city in Canada, right?
Provinces
or
of
Vancouver.
Toronto.
I don't know. Whatever.
So, and then they moved to Markham, Toronto. My maiden name.
Miss Markham, Toronto.
Yes.
In Canada.
And Markham actually has a large Asian population where Han and Bic worked at Magna International making auto parts. Okay. So they were like factory workers for an auto parts place. And Jennifer had a younger brother named Felix. But he doesn't play like a huge role in this story, but he exists.
I want some Vietnamese food.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And we're going to get some.
I want it.
Yes. Han and Bic had very high educational expectations for their children, as well as many extracurricular activities that they wanted their children to be in. Jennifer was made to take music theory and harmony lessons, figure skating, and she did really well with figure skating all the way up until I think about middle school. And she got a knee injury that made her, was no longer able to do it after that.
Yeah, that sucks.
And she also played piano from the age of 4.
Wow.
Yeah. So Han and Bic were very strict on Jennifer and didn't let her do much other than school and all the activities. And this sort of parenting is what is referred to as tiger parenting, which is very common in the Asian and Indonesian community. And this is you better make good grades and become extremely successful and take care of me when you're older type parenting. There's
some tradition that goes on in there.
Very, this makes me think of, when I was in high school, we had a Japanese foreign exchange student when I was in, was it 10th grade? Yeah. So it was the year I turned 16 and her name was Tomoko. She was so freaking cute. So freaking tiny. Like she still looked like she was 12 and we were, and I invited her to my 16th birthday. She brought me like Japanese postcards and all kind of cute shit. But in our algebra class, it was algebra 1. Tomoko was the only person that passed one of the tests that we got like in the first semester. And the teacher compared all of us to her.
Thinking you could rise
like,
to that.
Bitch.
Yeah.
First of all,
you just set the bar and we can't even see the bar.
You are every single other person in our class made a C or lower.
Wow.
And Tomoko made an A because guess what? They have higher expectations and higher educational everything.
Yeah, they stay full on, So and plus it seems like,
you can't do that to us, ma'am.
But it just does seem like that Asian folks get it way more than us.
Well, a lot of, I watched a documentary called What Jennifer Did. There's a lot. It's in that culture. It's in that community.
Well, it's a culturalistic developmental thing, So like the parents are pushing it way more than our parents would have.
Yes.
And at the same time, they get it easier. Maybe it's just some genetics in there too. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I think also that they start that level of math at a younger age.
Yeah.
Because she literally said she had already known that level of math for like 2 years.
Oh, okay. And they were more in contact
and
with that. And this
was brand new to us.
With that kind of challenge and that adaptivity to be like, to rise up, they're already around it way more than anybody else at our age.
Right.
Yeah. At the time. I get it.
And because if these kids made less than an A, they were scolded profusely for doing less than exceptional. Jennifer, she was not allowed to date. She wasn't allowed to really hang out with friends. And by the age of 22, she had never gone to a club, gotten drunk, or visited any place without her family. By 22, Jesse.
I get it.
What do you mean you get it?
I get the whole thing. They're really pushing their kids and they're breaking them away from anything and fun in life. Like our parents kind of give in as far as like the structure part of it, where they're pushing further. So it's both unhealthy.
But could you, yeah. I'm just saying, could you imagine being 22 years old, you're still living at home and Jennifer was still being grounded for things.
Yeah.
At 22 years old.
Her parents grew up in a communist society. Yeah. I get it. There's no, they probably left out of North Vietnam. You know, they were. So, I mean, I get it. The culture thing. I get it. It's not good. No, I don't agree on that.
No,
I don't agree on it. No, but I get it. You know,
I wasn't expecting you to click with that as much because that leaves a lot of discussion out. But anyway,
well, I'm not trying to just sell your ship short. How do you say that?
I'm getting a little.
I'm not trying to sell your ship short. I'm just saying I understand how culture works globally, and I get it. It's not right. I don't support it, but I get it.
Well, somewhere in high school, I'm not sure what, because, you know, their educational system is a little different than ours in Canada. She was on her way to valedictorian, but somewhere along the way, she was losing that. And she actually like fell off way low to where her grades were in like the 70th percentile. And her parents were wanting her to make straight A's. So she starts forging documents.
Oh.
So
her train kind of derailed a little bit that they wanted her to go toward. And I get that too. That's where some salad starts coming into play.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she learned how to forge report cards, and she even she photoshopped her graduation document. I mean, like, and her parents had that shit on the wall.
So she didn't graduate? She fuckery.
So she failed a calculus class, and she forged a document saying that she had graduated high school and she was on her way to university. Her excuse, because my thing was, okay, how did they not know that she didn't graduate high school? Well, they had a ticket system up there, and she told her parents that all the tickets had sold out. So they weren't able to attend.
Oh.
Yeah. So, because to me, this whole web of lies that I'm going to explain to you here in a minute, it was very weird to me. Like, how? Because it's different here. There's not you just show up to the fucking high school, right, and you sit and you watch your kid graduate.
Oh, with the time span and her parents' age and everything, they don't really know all the workings of everything. All they know is they're going to push the shit out of their kid, oppress them into being something
oppression.
Great.
She was under so much
a communist type setup, and the whole family, the whole culture, everything. I mean, that's where I fully understand.
I dropped my pencil. I'm so sorry.
I fully understand it because, I mean, as being countries both from, created from immigrants, really, you get around some of that in conversations throughout your life, and you're like, well, it's kind of fucked up. But at the same time, like, you have to see what it really was that their parents, her grandparents went through, and, the things that they did for thousands of years. They wanted to stick with those traditions,
Well, this pressure was so much on her mental health that she started cutting herself as a coping mechanism.
Yeah, because she was exposed to a better way out, and she couldn't get it. Yeah.
And of course, she did not get into university, but she pretended to attend. And instead of actually going to school, she sat in cafes like for the whole day. She taught piano on the side to make money, and she worked in a restaurant. It was, she worked at Boston Pizza, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. And she actually lied because, when your kids go to college, you got to, if they don't get scholarships, you're going to have to pay for it. Well, since she didn't get into university and she's telling her parents she did, she lied to them and said, I got all these scholarships.
Right.
So you don't have to pay a thing.
But stepping back as the parents, okay, she's Vietnamese, right? She's in a Asian community. What would their daughter have had if she didn't graduate? Food, service, she wouldn't have, she wouldn't have went on to have that business
she was
career.
An amazing piano player to the point where she was an instructor.
Obviously, she's amazingly brilliant, obviously. Yeah. By far, I get that. But like as parents, they were trying to push her into all that, which was oppression in a way, because they knew that she wouldn't have had anything if she wouldn't have graduated. So they overdid it. There's a balance there, and then culture and knowing that, hey, my daughter's not going to do anything else but work at a laundromat or something. because
and that was unacceptable.
Right. They did not want her to do that. And I would have been happy. I'm happy with just working, period,
So Han and Bick had they had average ass Joe jobs, but they ended up getting they had a really nice house, and then they got a Lexus and a Mercedes.
Wow.
And had over $200,000 saved.
So they was doing the damn thing though,
Yeah.
Without their selves being, higher standards and in colleges with degrees and all that. So they still did a damn good thing.
Well, there was I'm so sorry, but there's a lot of information about this case on YouTube, but I did forget to write down what she actually wanted to study. But for Han, her father, that part of the medical field wasn't going to bring in enough money.
Yeah.
So he was like, I want you to go into pharmacology. So she lied to them and said, all right,
I got you.
I'm in the pharmacology program now. Yeah.
Fucked up. And I'm trying to come about this conversation a little bit different than we had before. For some reason, I'm just thinking, I just kind of want to pan out both parts of, all the aspects of it, even wrong aspects. So that's why I'm coming across a little bit different on this one. Sorry.
Right. Like I said, she lied to them about getting into the pharmacology program, but she was like, you know what? I gotta stick to this lie. I gotta make it believable. So she purchased secondhand books on the program. She watched videos on it, and she took notebooks full of notes on this actual subject.
Wow.
Like she could have just done the work and maybe got in. I don't know.
If you can action there.
Right. I can't. I'm going to cover Frank Abagnale later on down the road.
Yeah, that was cool.
But
man.
Yeah.
So far, this is unhealthy, but it's kind of cool at this point,
Yeah. So she had to keep up the charade. You know what I mean?
That's a tough battle. Yeah.
And then, now when she was in high school, she wasn't allowed to date, but her parents had allowed her to do some schooling abroad. So she went to Europe with the band because she played the flute. Along with the piano. And she met this guy his name was, I lost it. His name is Daniel Wong. Daniel Chi Kwang Wong, who actually, she was in an environment where people were chain smoking and shit, and she had some asthma problems. So Daniel kind of saved her life. And then they grew attached and they started dating. And he was a little bit of a weed dealer on the side.
Okay.
Which kind of blew my mind because literally since I was a teenager, I thought that marijuana was legal in Canada. And they weren't really strict on that. So I didn't know that there was even weed dealers up there.
This would have been the 90s now, right?
This was the 2000s.
Oh, okay.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah. And from that time, I thought that Canada was cannabis friendly.
Cannabis?
Cannabis, yes.
I don't know if it was or not.
I guess because,
let us know.
You hear shit, you speculate, people speculate and all that shit. But I literally heard there was cannabis cafes in Canada.
In the 90s, 2000s,
mm-hmm. Huh? Late 90s, early 2000s, I was hearing about it. Yeah, I was hearing about that shit. So Daniel, he was a little bit of a weed dealer, and he was also the manager of Boston Pizza, which is where she worked to make some money. Her parents didn't know this because she was pretending that she was going to college this whole time, the university. That's what they call it over there, and in Europe as well. It's uni.
Is that deep dish or Chicago style?
I don't know what the fuck Boston pizza is. When we go there, we're gonna have to see what kind of pizza they have. So Daniel, he was a mix of Chinese and Filipino ancestry, and he lived in Ajax, the Ajax area of Toronto.
Okay.
Such a big...
It's got burrows.
It's got burrows, like Scarborough.
Yeah.
Jennifer, she wanted to stay with Daniel, so she told her parents that with her class load, she needed to stay with her friend that lived closer to the university, whose name was Topaz. But she was actually staying with Daniel.
That's a cool last name.
Yes. Topaz is a very cool name. That's one of my favorite stones, honestly.
I think it's my birthstone.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's look it up. Hey, Google. What is December's birthstone?
December is unique in having 3 primary birthstones. Tanzanite, known for its striking blue to violet blue hues. It's a relatively recent discovery.
Turquoise
Found only
is
in
your
Tanzania.
main one.
Admired for its distinct opaque.
So it's close.
color, ranging
Hello, Topaz. It didn't say all three, did it?
Hold on.
Yeah,
The
you didn't give it a chance.
Topaz wasn't on there. I read it as
Then
it was
why
talking.
did they tell me my whole life? That blue topaz was my fucking color, man. My rock, bro. Who lies to me?
It's for November.
Who lies to
That's
me?
your sister's birthstone. Nobody lied to
So
you.
turquoise is me?
Turquoise.
Maybe that's why I love turquoise so much.
You do.
For fuck
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah, you love all that tacky native jewelry. It is pretty though.
If it's done right.
If it's done right.
I like the old style too. I like the old style, like the shit that you make in your backyard.
Honestly, I want turquoise to come back in style because I want a shit ton of it.
The whole squash blossoms, the whole fucking big turquoise Navajo necklaces and shit that I didn't deserve and wear it anyhow.
But what is my favorite?
Your favorite rock?
Yeah. How is that not on the top of your head?
It's the purple one. What the fuck? Why can't I think of it?
Amethyst.
I can't think of it.
And that's why I also
I used
love.
to hunt for you amethyst
I was going to
rocks
say,
and
well, that's
rings and shit.
also why I love the wampum jewelry because it's got the purple in it. Wampum jewelry is the
wampum
tits.
jewelry.
Yes.
Yeah. I love Native American artwork and jewelry. I love the old school stuff. I love the new school stuff. I love it all.
Well, Jennifer, we're going to get back to Jennifer now. She also pretended to volunteer, and this is a legit place, but it's not going to sound like it. The Hospital for Sick Children.
And she volunteered there?
She pretended she did.
Oh, she pretended she volunteered for
But her parents were very suspicious because she didn't have a hospital ID badge. She didn't wear scrubs.
Why didn't she just volunteer?
Because you have to be in a medical program. And she wasn't a part of that.
There's something you can do there. You can volunteer where you ain't got to do anything like that.
Maybe she just didn't want to do the work because Jennifer has a lying problem, and we're going to figure this out.
Anything to do with anything medical. Obviously.
She did, but it wasn't what her father wanted for her, and she didn't want to bring shame upon her family, so she just lied.
Shame.
Yeah, shame. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Shame. So, well, Han, he got a little suspicious of this, so he encouraged Bick to follow Jennifer.
Uh-oh, it's coming now.
Yeah. And guess what? Her lie was discovered.
Shame.
And it was also
Shame.
brought to their attention that she hadn't even been going to university.
Shame.
And she hadn't been going to high school.
Shame.
I'm sorry. She went to high school, but she didn't complete high school.
Complete it. Shame.
Yes.
Shame. Are we done? Shame.
So her parents were like, you know what, bitch? This is what you're going to do. You're going to get your high school diploma. You're going to finish university, and you're going to stop seeing fucking Daniel Wong because number one, he works at a pizza place. He's not going to be able to financially support you, and he's not going to be able to support us when we're old because that's what they did. That's what they wanted.
Yeah.
And
it's a circle.
Yeah. And second of all, we know that he deals the weed. And in the, 90s and 2000s, weed was the devil. Even though you can go to the store now and buy that shit.
Yeah. Same as like alcohol, I guess, to me.
And they were like, you know what? You can get the fuck out if you want to stay with Daniel, or you can choose us. And she chose her parents. And she is in her 20s. She's in her 20s.
Ready to live life. Ready to fly.
This is what
Can't fly.
mind boggles me
Wings
because
clipped.
my rebellious ass could never, ever, ever. I would rather sleep. This is how rebellious I was. I would have rather slept on the street than deal with all of this.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would have.
But we all have made shitty choices in life.
Yeah. And even if later on I found out that was a shitty choice, or my rebellious spirit would not have allowed me to agree with any of this. It wouldn't have. I cannot contemplate how a person in their 20s would agree to this. So not only was she forbidden from talking to her boyfriend, they took her fucking phone.
Wow.
They took her phone as a woman in her 20s, like she's 16 years old.
I get it, Lindsay. But you're not looking at it like a culturalistic thing that she's been
No, I'm
raised
not
up in.
because I don't understand.
You don't
But
transpire into what
I can't
deeply ingrained into the household, into the family's way
This
of
one was
life.
so hard for me because I'm like, why wouldn't you just
their
go?
whole livelihood and mannerisms and everything that they've done and aspired to do.
Well, if she'd have just said,
so.
you know what, I'm going to do my own thing, we wouldn't be telling the story right now.
Right.
So, anyways,
either way, there's
like I said,
there's a deep rooted thing that
she's grounded in her fucking 20s now.
Yeah,
and she has no phone access except
Lindsay's like, I don't understand why.
No,
Jesse
this
just
is hurting my head, and I want you to shut the fuck up because
telling me this?
I can't wrap my brain around it.
I am trying to wrap my fucking head around it, Lindsay, and that's the reason why I'm clapping back.
I understand there's different
and
cultures.
I'm not clapping back in a negative way. I'm saying there's an understanding that you have to also see, even if it is bad. You know, it is shitty. It is. And I don't support it in any fucking way. I do not at all.
No.
It's a very shitty way of life.
Because I wouldn't be sitting here telling you the story if she'd have just been like, you know what? I'm going to go live with Daniel and work at Boston Pizza and figure this shit out.
Which would have been a great life.
It would have.
She would have had to quit.
It would have been I mean,
the line's over. The story's over.
I supported a family working in a fucking restaurant. So,
yeah. You can do it.
Anywho, so she wasn't allowed to do anything but go to school and teach piano. Well, she was like, you know what? I'm going to tell you, my parents, Hot and Bick, that I'm not going to see Daniel anymore. But guess what? I really am.
You back the line.
Huh?
She back the line, or she really is?
Oh, she's back the line.
Yeah,
she just
she's
lies
back the line.
all the time.
She's back to her ways.
Jennifer Pan is a liar, y'all. I don't know if you figured that out yet. She lies a lot.
Yeah, but she wanted her freedom, though. See, I get it.
But she didn't. She chose to not take her freedom.
But she's lying about that, too.
And that's what pisses me off so hard. Like, that is how you learn who you are. And that is how you learn how to survive in life.
You have to go out on your own.
In
and
your
do your
goddamn
own shit.
20s.
Failure or not, you got to go try it.
You got to go try it.
Yeah. I get it.
So anyways, Jennifer, you're an idiot. So, Bick, so Han was the major disciplinarian and the major hard ass in this family. And Bick was like, I'm going to go along with what my husband says, but I'm also going to get your phone out of the lockbox or wherever it was. And I'm going to let you catch up with your messages.
I feel like she should have left Han solo.
Bitch.
That's just what I feel like. She should have told him. She should have told him.
She loved Han.
She should have told him to Millennium Falcon.
And she agreed with most of what he wanted, but at the same time, she was like, you know, this girl's 23 years old. You know?
I would have been out of there in 21 parsecs myself.
So anyway, Bick was letting her get her phone and catch up on her messages, where she would continue her relationship with Daniel in secret.
Right.
But by 2009. This was 6 years into their relationship. 6 motherfucking years. Her parents just found out that they were even dating 6 years later. Daniel was like, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. I'm going to move on. You hit me up when you're done being under your parents' oppression. But for now, bye-bye.
Yeah, in any relationship, it's a constant struggle because she's trying to live a lie on both sides. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, so he broke things off and started seeing someone else, a young woman named Christine. Well, then Jennifer started lying to Daniel to keep his attention. She told him that a man came to her house pretending to be a police officer. And then after that, several men broke in and, trigger warning, gang raped her.
What?
This is what she told Daniel. This was a ploy to keep his attention. And then she also told Daniel that a bullet, a whole ass fucking bullet, was mailed to her. And she blamed Daniel's new girlfriend. She blamed Christine. She was like, your new girlfriend is just she's organizing gang rapes on me. She's sending me a bullet, threatening me in the mail. And yeah. Well, but Daniel...
I'm thinking about the Toxic song in my head.
You're toxic, I'm sipping under. Okay. My voice is back, y'all. Y'all get some singing now, okay? So she would also send like weird cryptic messages to the new girlfriend, harassing her as well. But Daniel kept talking to Jennifer, even though she was clearly unwell. And they talk to each other in baby talk. And it's really creepy. Like Daniel would call her monk or monkey, which literally sent me right over to The Office because that's what Dwight called Angela, monkey.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Marilyn Manson said he was a monkey who went to outer space at Rockville.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he was a little weird at Rockville, bruh. He was a little weird.
It was fun.
And she would call Daniel Mr. Bubbles, which made me think of Cobra Bubbles from Lilo and Stitch. So I've got Angela Kinsey and Cobra Bubbles in my head.
I was thinking of Mr. Bigglesworth myself.
That is a hairless kitty.
Still kind of Asian.
When we were in high school, that's what me and my friends would call our shaved lady parts.
Oh.
Was Mr. Bigglesworth.
Oh.
Those were hairless kitties.
I would have called mine Mr. Dinkles.
Mr. Dinkles. That's what my van sounds like when you hit the lock button.
I think my man parts are now called Mr. Dinkles. Yes. Now y'all know.
Well, Daniel, he's still flirty and he's still texting Jennifer, but he's like, you know what? We can continue this relationship when you decide to leave home. So Jennifer decided to make a plan with Daniel, a despicable one. And because Daniel, he had done a little bit of weed dealing and he knew some shady people. But it turns out Jennifer didn't even really need him for this. She got in contact with a guy that she had known from elementary school, which they called primary school, I think, in that area of the world.
Maybe. I don't know.
He had talked about robbing people at knife point, and he had talked about killing his own father.
Shit.
And his name was Andrew Montemare. Very sophisticated name, yeah. Very suave. And he would introduce her to his roommate named Ricardo Duncan, who is described as a goth kid. So he was probably listening to Marilyn Manson,
yeah,
who they call the goth father. You know what I mean? Which I didn't know that until a few years ago.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something new?
No.
We just called him fucking Marilyn Manson.
He was just Marilyn Manson, but he was because that was the dawn of the goth era. When Marilyn Manson... Wasn't? Yes, he was.
No.
It was post-grunge, the dawn of the goth era.
Who the fuck is Ozzy Osbourne? Leave me alone.
That's the Prince of Darkness.
The fucking god of all everything goth. Leave me alone.
Hey, Google.
I mean, you can go to whatever they call it, but I'm saying we're
Is Marilyn Manson called the goth father?
No, Marilyn Manson is not typically called the Godfather.
Not the Godfather?
Yeah, kiss his ring. Oh, bullshit. Get out of here.
I've heard it. I've seen it a lot.
Okay.
On the internet webs.
I mean, I'll go with it. Whatever. Just fucking Marilyn Manson to me.
Well, so anyway, Jennifer, she offered these guys $1,500 to shoot her dad dead in the parking lot of his workplace.
The fuck?
But that plan did not go through.
Thank you.
According to Jennifer, Daniel then puts her in contact with his old friend Linford Crawford, which he would just refer to.
All the names.
I know.
They're so fucking cool, man.
But he referred to him as Homeboy.
Homeboy.
And the new plan was to orchestrate a break-in and kill her, Jennifer, while leaving her parents untouched. This is according to Jennifer, okay? Her reasoning was that she didn't want to leave the shame of a suicide on her family, so Homeboy was to kill her for $10,000.
She was going to pay for her own death.
This was according to Jennifer. Well, on November 2nd, 2010, Daniel texts Jennifer and says that he feels about Christine the way that she feels about him. Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah. And Jennifer says, well, if you feel for her what I feel for you, then call it off with Homeboy. And Daniel says, well, I thought you wanted this for you. And Jennifer says, well, I do, but I have nowhere to go. And then Daniel says, call it off with Homeboy. You said you wanted this with or without me. And Jennifer says, I want it for me. The next day, Daniel texts and says, I did everything. I lined it up for you. And then shortly, they were back to their little weird baby talk, flirty texts.
Dirty flirty.
Dirty flirting.
This is going to be bad.
Mr. Bubbles.
This is going to be bad.
Mr. Bubbles, are you okay with your bubbles? Are you okay, monkey?
Oh, Mr. Dinkles. Meow.
I love you, Mr. Bubbles. Meow. Yeah. So meanwhile, Homeboy gets in contact with Eric Sean Carty, who goes by Sniper. And then Sniper gets in contact with David. Hold on. Let me get this right. Malvanganum.
Okay.
Hold on.
Malvagnet. Malvagnarock.
Malvagnan. Oh my God. Malvaganum.
You got it?
I got it.
Malvaganum.
Okay. So Homeboy then texts Jennifer and says, I need time of completion. Think about it.
Doesn't Malvaganum sound like something you take to go to sleep?
No, it sounds like a villain from a Marvel movie. Legit. Like Malvaganum. I can't even say it. I knew I was going to struggle with this while I was sober.
So I'm going to leave all this in here because this is kind of cool.
I've had a few drinks and I'm really struggling now. So
Malvagnatory.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jennifer texts back and says, today is a no-go. I got dinner plans, so I won't be home in time. Then several texts were exchanged over the weekend. And then on November 8th, Homeboy texts her and says, after work, okay, we'll be game time. That was like the text.
It's going down.
It's going down.
Yeah. That's my Groucho face.
Oh, you brought back the Groucho.
Well, you know.
If you don't know what we're talking about, listen to our episodes on Myra Henley and Ian Brady. Don't remember what number, but just scroll.
The Groucho eyebrows.
The Groucho eyebrows.
It's go time.
So we're still on November 8th. Around 10 p.m., Jennifer unlocked the door to her house and went to bed. And then spoke to David. She spoke to David.
Yeah, if she would have took some of that
David M.
Malvagnamin, she would have went right to sleep.
Malvaganum.
Yeah. We're fucking his name up so bad.
So bad.
We're sorry.
And it's okay, because fuck David. Okay. So soon after, David and two identified men came through the front door, and they were armed and demanding money and began ransacking the house. They took Han and Bick to the basement and shot them both.
Right then and there.
Right then and there.
Wasn't about her at motherfucking all.
Then they tied Jennifer to the staircase and left. And this is the 911 call that was made.
Avenue Road. Yes. Can you spell the street name for me, please? Dad? Ma'am. Hello. Hello. Yes. Ma'am, I need to know your address. Avenue Road. Can you please spell? Helen Avenue. My dad just went outside screaming. Ma'am, can you spell the street address for me, please? H-E-L-E-N. Someone broke in and I heard shots like pops. I don't know what's happening. I'm tied upstairs.
Oh my God, Lindsay, that's so chaotic. It's crazy.
Right. Well, a lot of that, if you couldn't understand, is in Vietnamese. But yeah, that's stressful as fuck, right? Like, holy shit.
I think she's selling the Titanic right now. Motherfucking Titanic just got sold, right?
Well, as you can, okay, so the screaming in the background, that's Han. So Han survives the shooting and he runs outside.
That's what she said. My dad just ran outside. Okay.
But Vic, she did not survive.
So Han is solo.
Oh my God. So Han ran outside while Jennifer is quote unquote tied up. And Vic, she's no longer with us.
Why am I getting all the eye rolls coming? You're just like,
what do you mean?
You're like tied up. You're like, I feel like this is bullshit.
Yeah, tied up.
Yeah.
Well, I've already led up to this whole thing that she's orchestrating this.
Right. Oceanfront property in Arizona.
That fucking 911 call is insane.
Yeah.
That's why I'm eye rolling, because
either way, she just seen her dad get shot.
Bitch just put on a performance.
Yeah. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. But still, like, even if you set all that up, you just went through all that. So it's fucking easily sold. God, it's nasty.
So Han runs out. He's going outside to seek help. But he literally still has bullets in his body.
Right.
And when the ambulance came, they took him right to the hospital. But he would remain in a coma for a few days.
Shit.
So Jennifer, she was taken to the police department around 2:45 a.m. And she was interviewed by Randy Slade. Now that is a name, buddy. That's a name. Yeah. That sounds like it was made.
Is that Detective
Randy Slade?
That's fire, dude. I want to marry him right now. I guarantee he smells like
if you look
vanilla
at
and bourbon.
if you want to watch the documentary later, he looks like a Randy Slade.
Does he?
He looks like a Randy Slade.
I'm not gay by any means, but still, that sounds sexy as fuck, dude. Okay, I'm changing it. It's no longer Mr. Dinkles. I'm changing my private parts to Randy Slade.
So Jennifer, she recounts her version of the events, and Slade let her go around.
It still goes meow. It's the goddamn Tangeray, Lindsay. Woo! My homie.
So Slade let her go around 4 a.m., but something just didn't seem right. Something didn't sit right with old Randy.
My homie came through with the gang of Tangeray.
One thing that stood out to him was that Jennifer asked how much her phone would be investigated.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sore thumb.
Now, Han and Bick, like I mentioned earlier, they both drove nice vehicles. They had a Lexus, which was Bick's, and a Mercedes, which was Han's. And it was thought that maybe they had been targeted because of their vehicles. And Bick, this is so cute. She was out line dancing that she did every Monday. Like, she went line dancing every week.
You know how uncoordinated I am.
Line dancing is fun as fuck.
But I look like a bumbling potato with two sticks.
But you know what? I have taught you a few dances and you rock the fuck out of them.
Come on now.
I
do not.
You're like, bitch, we know this one. Let's go. Let's go dance. And when we're in an event where, you know, the predicted songs are going to come on.
For our age on a cruise ship, we fucking rock that shit, girl. We do. Okay, we still do. Okay.
All right, I'm finishing my Pineapple Vista Bay.
I'm on Tangeray and I'm geeking right now.
Well, it was thought that maybe she was followed home after her line dancing class. And this was some intruders that thought that they may be able to get some valuables from a woman that drove a Lexus. So Jennifer's home was now a crime scene. So she couldn't go stay there. So she went and stayed with relatives while the investigation was underway. Crimes like this were extremely rare in this area. So, I mean, the neighborhood was baffled. Investigators were baffled. It was just it was an insane situation.
But was the setup even right? Did they take the right shit?
Nope. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Okay.
Give me just a minute. Okay. Well, someone, after, you know, and everybody's out, they're trying to get information on this to try to build a case, to try to understand what happened. Someone came forward and said that Jennifer's boyfriend, Daniel, had been a drug dealer. So they started looking into him, which is still, I'm sorry, it's wild to me because it was just fucking marijuana. But I do know, just from being around, that even just simple marijuana dealers will be in contact with people that can possibly be in heavier shit.
Right. Well, what other association do they have for a lead?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all they have.
So they started looking into Daniel, and in his interview, he said that he and Jennifer had been broken up for a while, but they had previously been together around 6 years. But it was pretty much all behind her parents' back. And that was true. He told the truth about that. And when they were found out, Jennifer's parents said that he wasn't good enough for her. And they didn't like that he was Filipino. And Daniel told the police that Jennifer's parents had made her choose him or them. And she chose them, but continued the relationship secretly pretty much until he met Christine. So then he told the police that he and Jennifer had been in contact again because they were both getting tons of prank calls and texts. But the truth was that those were all Jennifer.
Oh,
yeah. Jennifer had been pretending to get them as well so that her and Daniel would stay in contact. So Jennifer's phone was then investigated and she was interviewed again. And, you know, I listened to these interviews and Randy Slade, he was excellent at his job.
Every time you say his name, I get wet.
I know, right? I get a lady bone, you get wet. It's crazy. But he was so...
I need to go wipe. This is nasty.
He was so excellent at his job. He was like, I'm on your side, girl. You know?
Yeah, Randy, I'm on your side too.
He was like... So he was...
Shut up, Lindsay. I'm allowed to talk about Randy Slade. Leave me a moment. Oh, go ahead.
So Randy was telling her, he was like, you know, I understand you've been under a lot of pressure. Your parents had crazy expectations for you that you just could not live up to. And so he just like, he starts comforting her and, you know, just letting her get her guard down. He knows how to do his fucking job. He knows how to do his fucking job.
Good.
And he was like, you know, you had to lie a lot and you weren't allowed to have any kind of life. You couldn't date who you wanted to, and you were grounded as a woman in her 20s. That's still insane to me. I'm so sorry. I will never understand that.
Yeah, here it comes.
And it's just strange how the intruders shot your parents, but not you. And the only thing that they took from the house was money from you because she had $2,000 in her room that she gave the intruders, but there was other money in the house. Like Han had $60 in his wallet and Bick had $200 in her purse, but they didn't take that. And they had 2 very nice cars where the keys were visible to be taken. They could have drove off with that Lexus and that Mercedes, but they didn't. So why? Well, then they were like, how did you call 911 while you were tied up? And she reenacted it out for him perfectly.
Ooh.
Well, they let her go after the second interview. But now...
How do you convince them?
Well, she was officially a suspect now.
Oh.
So, well, she had to plan her mother's funeral because daddy's in a coma. She had to plan her mother's funeral and her grandfather's funeral. Because shortly after Bick was pronounced dead, her father, who had already had health issues, he passed away as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she had to plan her mother and her grandfather's funeral, along with Felix, her younger brother. And they're watching her at this funeral. The investigators, the police, you know, she's under surveillance now completely. And they noticed that there was no tears. Like she would hang her head and she would look like she was crying, but she would look up at them to see if they were watching.
Ungenuine. Yeah.
So, you know, she was trying to make these tears appear, but it just wasn't happening. Well, during all of this, he woke up.
He came alive.
He came out of his coma. Now, it took a few days for him to be able to talk, but when he did, he told police that the intruders were very friendly with his daughter, Jennifer, like she knew them. So they interviewed her again. And this time, she tells them the story about how she was actually paying for her own murder, not her parents. But it didn't add up. It didn't seem likely.
Oh, yeah, no.
So Jennifer was taken into custody and they built their case. This would take 3 fucking years.
Why?
I don't know why. I really couldn't get it. But I mean, I guess it takes a while because they have to track down Eric Hardy, homeboy, David, blah, 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 blah. And David, he was actually picked out of a lineup by Hanpan.
David Sleep Pill.
Hanpan. God, I don't know why I want to keep saying Hanpan. And the others, they actually connected through a burner phone. Yeah, tracking thing that they can do. Yeah.
So now when you think you can get a burner phone and you're good,
yeah, because
Jennifer,
she actually had 2 SIM cards that she was switching in between, and they tracked both them fuckers down because they were, if you watch the interviews, I highly recommend looking up all Jennifer Pan interviews on YouTube. Just first of all, so you can see how cool Randy Slade is while he's talking to her. And
I'm not allowed to drink Tanqueray anymore. You know?
Is it making you horny for Randy Slade?
Well, you got to leave me alone about this because...
Is it making you Randy for Randy?
I kind of got a little...
you got a gin buzz going on there.
Gin, it's a gin blossom going on back here for Randy.
David and Homeboy, they had some previous criminal charges, and then the trial itself would take 10 months.
Jesus.
10 months. Now, everyone was charged with murder and or conspiracy to murder. And Jennifer would be labeled in the headlines as the daughter from hell. So I think that's what we're going to name this episode.
The daughter
from hell. So Jennifer, she was sentenced to life in prison, with the first 25 would be without the possibility of parole, as well as Daniel Wong, Eric Hardy, and Homeboy Linford Crawford.
I think it should be changed to Jesse has it for Randy.
And David... Okay,
sleep pill.
I'm giving up on trying to pronounce his name.
Sleep pill, man. I don't know. You take it and you sleep
and
for 8 hours.
Jennifer, she was forbidden from contacting her family forever.
Good.
Forbidden.
Done.
Now, Han,
but the salad though. Wait a minute, Lindsay. The salad.
Yeah, there's a salad there.
It ain't good.
And you know what's crazy is the public. There was a lot of Jennifer supporters because they could relate to the tiger style parenting.
Yeah, normally we talk about
in
it
the Asian
at the
community.
End, but I figure we're pretty fucking close.
Yeah, we're close. I'm in the last sentence here.
So the salad on this, you gotta let your kids.
You gotta let your kids be themselves. You can't oppress them.
And there's the point right there.
We're not victim blaming. There is no excuse for murder. Period.
Never.
But oppression can cause mental illness, and mental illness can lead to
psychosis.
Murder. Yes.
And then psychosis can lead to...
Don't oppress your children.
Whatever it is, just have Randy on your side.
Right. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all 110% right now, Jesse and I don't have parenting figured out. We probably never will. But we have learned some things over the years from our own upbringing and from bringing up children.
Trials and failures too.
You can't oppress. It's hard to find a happy medium, but you have to let them be themselves, but just encourage them to be their best selves.
Yeah, if you don't, they're going to buck the fuck out. Mm-hmm. They're going to. You got to let them fail on their own.
I was an oppressed child completely. And they have the right to fail. Right. I was oppressed in the fact that I was not allowed to be around anything that was other than things that were godly. And guess what? It made me go in the opposite direction. I mean, not really in the opposite direction. You just came into your own in a different way. Right. And you live your life comfortably. I learned how to believe in what I believe in. Yeah. And everybody failed. Everybody fails. You're allowed to grow up and fail and restart and become the human being that you are going to be. Whether it's good, bad, whatever, you got to give them that chance. You can't force your children to be what you want them to be. Right. I think is the whole message here. You have to let them learn who they are. But coming up in a small Vietnamese community. And also, I mean, in this community that's as big as like twice the size of our cul-de-sac. Right. You can do that and get away with it because you have nothing but oppression. You walk to a field,
You harvest your crops, you come back home and you do your thing. I'm saying if it was a small Vietnamese
well, and also,
village,
well, in this community, like most of the people on their street were related.
right,
They were all family,
right.
cousins,
So
aunts,
they tried
uncles.
to keep that tight knitness in a big world where we're not exposed.
Well,
to
I mean,
that. We're
just
not
like
used to
him,
that,
he was
you know?
pissed that Jennifer was dating a guy that wasn't Vietnamese.
Right.
And sometimes your kids aren't going to date who you want them to date. You have to let them go through that.
Yeah, let them fail.
It sucks watching the heartbreak. It sucks watching the whole thing unfold. But you have to just let them do it.
They have the
and
right,
let them
They
learn.
have the right to try.
They do.
I let kids have the right to try as long as they're not hurting themselves. And then as young adults, they have the right to try even if it does hurt themselves. They're grown. They're getting grown. They have to learn it. You know, things hurt. High school sweethearts hurt. Decisions that you do against your parents hurt. Mm-hmm. Trying to come into your own, it hurts. But it's still in a safe way. You know?
Okay, I understand like your kid's still at home in their 20s and going to school and shit. Yeah. Grounding them and taking their phone from them in their 20s is insane to me. Yeah. But it does not justify murder. Mm-mm. And unfortunately, Han is no longer able to work and he has constant nightmares and panic attacks. He's no longer able to live in his house, nor can he sell it due to what happened there. So, moral of the story.
Tell the fucking moral of the story, Lindsay.
Don't oppress your children. No. And children, you can't kill your parents.
No.
Sorry, you can't. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I failed to mention this part in my notes, but it just came to my brain. She was set to inherit $500,000.
Oh, yeah. Motivation.
Well, that was going to pay for the hit. And then she was going to have money left over to be able to go live with Daniel because she had fucked up all of her education trying to lie to try to not disappoint her parents. So it's just a circle. It's just a circle.
It's a shitty circle.
It's a very
Don't fuck
shitty
over
circle.
your parents, though, when they're trying to do good, but at the same time, they oppressed her. So there's your circle. Your circle. That's a circle.
And we don't want to victim blame. Nobody deserved to die in this situation.
Nobody.
Whatsoever.
Nobody.
Death is not the answer. Murder is not the answer.
They didn't do anything to deserve that.
No. Jennifer needed to do the right thing.
Grow up.
She should have
say fuck you, mom and dad, and leave and say I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to.
Well,
and
she
go do
should
her
have
shit.
went back in high school. She should have been like, you know what? I did not do great this year. Maybe I need some tutoring. Maybe I need some help.
Or maybe I just give the fuck up. Fuck you, mom and dad. I'm out.
Yeah. Because she could have went and lived with Daniel and worked at Boston Pizza.
I'm not going to live up to your standards. I'm not going to grow up and take care of you. I don't like this culture anymore. Mm-hmm. Fuck you, mom and dad. That is what it boils down to. She could have
went and lived with Daniel, worked at Boston Pizza. They could have made a decent living and made a life.
I mean, it's harsh, but that was the point, the turning point in her life.
Average Joe jobs, Jesse and I both have average Joe jobs. Her parents had average Joe jobs, and they worked themselves up to where they had a home, a Lexus, and a Mercedes off of working in a fucking car factory.
Set up your lifestyle, stick with it, and you can build from it.
You live
within your means.
Live within your means. Yeah. You plan out. You know, we take 2 major vacations a year. That's it. We live within our means. We buy what we need. We don't buy what we don't need.
You get to tell me your fucked up stories.
Yes.
We'll talk about Randy, and then we'll talk about Randy, and then we talk about who? Randy.
And Slade. I'm going to just say that we don't have the answer to all the problems, but we can see, looking through it hindsightly, there's just so many different avenues that could have been taken here.
Yeah. Never take my advice. Yeah. I'm just full of shit and drunk.
Take the toll bridge. Take the turnpike. Take the turnpike. Don't ever go down the avenue of murder because it's not the answer.
No.
It's not. And now Jennifer's just sitting in prison when she could have just been working at Boston Pizza with her boyfriend.
Yeah, her parents would have been disappointed so fucking what?
So fucking what?
So exactly. Fucking what?
My parents were disappointed for a very long time as well, and guess what? Now they're proud of me. So.
And I'm proud that they're proud of you.
Yes. They're proud of me. I do not live anywhere near the way that they wanted me to live, but they're okay with who I am because I stopped apologizing for it about 12 years ago.
Even parents that are oppressing to kids, they grow up too. Mm-hmm. They have to accept, that your kid became something different, decent.
My parents came around.
Yeah.
Somewhat. Yeah. We'll say somewhat. Yeah. They're still trying to understand my thought process, but
yeah, they can accept it. Times change. That's just what it boils down to. Things change. We don't have to be stuck in a rut. We can be our own people. So yeah.
But once again, I'm just going to say you can see all of the interviews with Randy Slade, and the third interviewer, his name was William Gates, Bill Gates, but it's spelled different.
Ah,
yeah.
Nice.
You can find those on YouTube, and then you can also watch the documentary on Netflix called What Jennifer Did. I listened to all of that. Plus, I listened to a Case File podcast on Spotify, which has a lot of those interviews as well. If you just want to do audio instead of visual.
At this point, Lindsay, I don't think I need to drink that anymore.
Okay. So
I have unholy thoughts.
About Randy Slade?
Yeah. I'm totally kidding, but this fucking Tanqueray is good, dude. Go get some of that shit. Oh.
And what's it called? It's a hold on. I'm going to take off my headphones and go look at this cocktail.
It is so damn good. And Lindsay just broke my fucking headphones. We're getting sloshed on this one, dude.
So it's Tanqueray.
Pay no attention to the alcoholism. This is just part of the story.
Am I allowed to say this word?
You can't say it. Vagina, what is it?
Negroni cocktail.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me put my shit back on. Hold on.
She went on an adventure.
So it's Negroni cocktail. I don't even know. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm allowed to say this. So it's made with Tanqueray, London dry gin, vermouth, and bitter liqueur.
It's so good.
Yes.
You got to put it on the rocks and let it soak.
So basically... Basically, it's a martini with some bitters. Or
drunk.
Or an old-fashioned.
It's got me.
Yeah.
It's got me.
The
and I haven't drank
Tanqueray.
that much of it.
The Tanqueray has made Jesse and this person that I don't know.
I'm sweating over here. I'm sweating.
Hold on. I want to show you the guy.
Don't take a picture of me.
I'm not. No, I'm going to...
You're going to show me the Slade?
No, I'm going to show you the Tanqueray guy.
Oh.
Tanqueray guy.
Just don't show me that while the mic is hot. Because I am very hot right now.
See, look. Look at him. Look at how suave. Tanqueray.
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah.
I need to play music before I get to...
What band are we plugging today?
I want to play this band over here. And I am so fucking excited. I wrote it down. Tell them.
Blackbird?
Yeah, Blackbird. Native American group.
Okay.
They're like Native American rock and they're kicking ass. They're like touring all around the United States. He has some new stuff out. The band is amazing.
Hold on real quick. Look at that ad for Tanqueray.
Holy shit. That's some smooth ass suave
get that
shit.
Juice humming.
My juice is humming, dude.
He's juicy for Randy Slade.
But I need to play music because I am just fired up right now.
So on your notes, you put that the song's called Find My Way.
Yeah, Find My Way. And these guys are amazing. And I step back to some Native American stuff because...
It's a big part of your life.
Yeah, it was. And I really enjoy it. And I enjoy hanging out with some of the culture and just things, different people, different things, And the culture goes real deep with different areas of Native Americanism.
Right.
It's like, that's really fascinating to me. And I used to super hyper fixate on Native American stuff and just history, So I just want to share some of this stuff, and I want you guys to check this shit out, and I'm going to jam it right now. I'm leaving. Been way too long. I'm leaving. Got one more song. Take what you want and leave. All about
pretending it's all been seen. You were in it for you, and that's on me. I'm leaving way too long. I'm leaving. Got one more song. Take what you want and leave. All about you and never me. No more pretending it's all been seen. You were in it for you, and that's on me. Can't stop till I see this through. Even nothing is something to lose. Always wonder what could have been. In the summer of 2010, I got one more dream, one more fight, one last chance, one last night. I'm leaving, been way too long. I'm leaving, got one more song. Feel my feet hit the ground, taking the road to the farthest town. Chase my problems with this glass. Another drink may be my last. Give it one more shot. These days are all you got. When you come around again, I'll be long gone, my friend. I got one more drink, one more fight, one last chance, one last night. I'm leaving, been way too long. I'm leaving, got one more song. I'm leaving, been way too long. I'm leaving, got one more song. Find my way, find my way, find my way, find my way,
That song is so good. I closed my eyes and I was like,
just
you know
a
what?
good traveling ass jam.
If Jennifer just could have found her way,
Yeah.
that we wouldn't have been able to tell
needed
the
that.
story.
You know, we've been playing metal and fucking all these badass hardcore bands. We needed some good jamming.
Well, we had some good jamming during
This
Rockville.
was so good.
I'm sorry, you guys. Listen, Rockville is already big enough, but we will make room for our listeners if you go with us next year. It's a beautiful experience because we had moments like that. What song has stuck with you since we left?
Since we left Rockville, oh my God, Sublime. Just anything that Sublime had played was amazing. And he's just like, he said he played on his dad's guitar.
He was 11 months old when
And
his
it
father passed
stuck
away.
with me.
Yes.
It stuck with me. And when he just said that little, I'm playing on my dad's guitar, on my dad's guitar. When he said that was the only little thing that he said. And that little red guitar that he's playing up there.
Cute. Oh, it was so, and I mean, and he's a cutie patootie, man. Like, absolutely. I felt Brad.
He's no Slade, but you know, whatever.
No, he's never any Slade. But I felt Brad
through him. It felt like we were watching
the
Bradley.
presence. Yeah, and yeah, he stuck with me. But also Blue October. I don't know why, but that one's still been in my fucking head.
Really?
Hate me today. And that's the very first song or the very first band that we saw. And that shit has been in my head all
That was
week.
your whole theme for the whole thing?
Why?
You walked around and you could not get it out.
Can't get it out of my head.
No, just when we walked up and Sublime was playing, and it was just like every tone that came out of that band live tonight has been in rent free.
That was our perfect first experience of Sublime while we watched his. We're alive for that.
And Soul Asylum? Not Soul Asylum.
Soul Asylum.
So who is
Candlebox?
Candlebox.
I knew that's who you meant.
Yeah.
Candlebox stuck with me as well.
And fucking and Good Charlotte. All these comeback bands.
Oh
Sublime.
yeah, that was good with me too.
Good Charlotte is just like
Good Charlotte has stuck with me.
I'm fangirl always for Good Charlotte.
And that was a great, like, we were sitting down and I stood the fuck up. I'm like, you little old assholes can all sit and whatever, but I'm going to dance.
We danced together.
And you stood up and then Targ was like, fuck yeah.
And they played a song that wasn't really a big hit and I knew every word. And I was like, I'm telling you right now, I'm a big fan. I'm telling you right now that this was a big thing for me. Thank you, Bill Cayley, for introducing to me to Good Charlotte.
Yes. Thank you, Bill Cayley. But I discovered Good Charlotte through radio. But Blackbird, that song was fucking.
It was a nice.
It was.
Good,
it took me straight back to the 90s.
Yeah.
It did. Then
It was perfect. And these guys are doing some fire. So check these guys out. Do not fucking go to sleep on Blackbird. They're making moves. He's got way bigger songs than this, and they're doing so good. So much better material than this. He's like, yeah, I want you to play this one. I was like, sweet. I love it to death. And then I started checking out their catalog. Fuck. They got new shit out too. Really good. Really good jamming stuff. Love them.
I love jams like that. Just smooth.
Thank you, Blackbird. Hope to see you guys one time. Maybe at a Native American thing. Yeah. Maybe we'll go out to Gathering of Nations again. They'll be playing there or something.
That would be amazing. That was one of the best times of my life.
Yeah. Let's do that. There were so many rap groups. Remember the twins that were there? The same Native American twins that's also in one of the TV series that I've watched a few times. They were fucking badass. They were little
Midnight
rappers.
Express though was top
fire.
tier.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just the power.
The power
of Native American singing is just when they're hitting that drum.
The hand drum.
That's
the
in my
hand
heart.
drum songs. It's something else, y'all. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Look up Midnight Express.
Southern Bear? Was it Southern Bear?
Red Bear, wasn't it?
Red Bear? There was one of them that sang that song and they did the harmony with it. But anyhow, check out Native American groups. Look out these powwow drum groups.
I thought it was Midnight Express.
Midnight Express was there. And they were down south. I competed with them one time.
Yep.
That was crazy. What am I doing competing against bands, groups?
I think it was Red Bear though. That we're thinking of right now.
North Bear. It was North Bear.
Was it North Bear?
100%. They did the harmonizing.
The harmony.
Yeah. And then we found out that you were pregnant with Silas the next weekend.
I cried.
Daddy's boy.
So much. Yeah. Oh, God.
My daddy's boy. Yeah. Yeah. Native American stuff is so cool.
It is.
Spiritual.
Very spiritual.
Embrace it.
Very.
Embrace it. I mean, I'm Caucasian as fuck, and I embrace the fuck out of it.
Same.
Respect it. How's that?
Same.
Yeah, do that.
I don't look Caucasian, but I am.
And we're going to have a celebrity Native American on here eventually. Somewhere around in November, I'm going to have a celebrity Native American.
Because so we're coming up on June, and we're gonna focus a lot on Pride Month.
Awesome.
And then we're gonna do Pride. We're gonna go into some cult shit.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do some Native American.
Then we're doing a trip up north. We're gonna do that.
Yep.
And then when we come back down for around November, we'll do Native American stuff.
You guys just stay tuned because I got shit lined up for days.
We got some cool ass guests coming. We got some badass music coming. We got some stuff that's been in movies coming. It's amazing. Aurora Wave was fucking badass with the singer from Attila.
They're going to be on Shiprock.
They're going to be on Shiprock. I seen them lock it down.
Yes,
today.
Nancy. So my nail tech, who was also absolute, she's that bitch. She goes to some shit.
Nothing makes me wetter than Randy Slade is to watch one of these fucking bands become big.
Yeah.
And watch these babies grow up.
Nancy, my nail tech / festival / we have a great time. We have the same musical interest, and it was just like meant for me to be her nail client because We just click like that. We've went to Louder Than Life together. We went to several Rockvilles together. We've saw Trans-Siberian Orchestra together. We have watched Deftones together. Anyways, Nancy is going to Shiprocked, and she was naming off, and she said Aurora Rave. I said, bitch, we just featured them on our podcast
We did.
2 episodes ago.
Congratulations,
yes.
Aurora Wave. You deserve it.
Yes.
We'll
and
see
I
you
wish
guys
we were
on some
I wish we were
DWP
going to be
shit.
on that Shiprocked.
Oh, fuck, dude. We need to do it. Let's just do it.
We're going to.
Let's do
the
it.
last one that we planned
Let's
got
do it.
relocated.
Let's do a lowercase cruise next year, and then that one.
Yeah.
Lowercase cruise, then that one. Bumping. Right now, I'm locking it in.
Bumping.
Oh.
Let's do it. We'll
done.
just tell Nancy to figure it all out, and we'll just pay the money.
And with all of that being said, though.
Like us, follow us, subscribe.
Yes.
Leave us a review
And
to help
Lindsay,
us get in that algorithm.
Your story with Randy Slade. Can't help it.
Fuck Jennifer. It's all about Randy
It's
Slade.
all about Randy Slade. This story is going to be called Randy Slade Made Me Wet. Along with the Tangeray. Fun, dude.
Yes.
I'm a fun off of this. I'm a very fun goofy. I'm very fun goofy. But I'm going to leave that right there. We'll see you guys next Friday.
Next Friday with something new. I don't know yet. I got 2 that I'm juggling with, trying to figure it out which one I want to do.
So we'll see you then, though.
Yes. Bye.